Heyo, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in for another awesome episode brought to you by Triple S Productions. I'm super excited to be bringing this one today. It's gonna be another 48 hours video showing a wrap up of my recent trip to Salt Spring Island. But before I get into it, obviously please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when I've dropped new videos. I've been trying to be more consistent with putting out my videos, trying to be more consistent putting out shorts, other stuff across my socials, and so many of the views I'm getting are for people who are not subscribed to the channel. So please just take the second, hit that subscriber button. It really makes a difference for me. If you guys don't know, Salt Spring Island is a little island off the coast of British Columbia. It's one of the southern Gulf Islands. I'm sure all of my born and raised and local Canadians and British Columbians knew this, but I did not realize before I moved here how many cool islands there are off the coast of British Columbia. There's the southern Gulf Islands, there's obviously Vancouver Island, but Salt Spring is the biggest one and the most populous one of the southern Gulf Islands, and it's got a lot going on. So I'm very excited to bring you this wrap up there, and without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it. So, in order to get there, because it is an island, you do have to take a ferry to it from the mainland. You maybe can you take a seaplane? Actually, yeah, editors, hit me with it over top. Can you take a seaplane? I'm sure you probably can, I don't know. Anyway, the most common way to get there is via ferry. So that's how we got there. We booked our ferry tickets. We're heading out in the morning to catch the morning ferry there, so we have plenty of time to spend our day one enjoying the island. But on the way, the night before actually, we prepped ourselves. We made croissants that we had gotten from the Bench Bakehouse on Commercial Drive, which is an absolutely delicious, amazing bakehouse. They have some super high quality breads. Personally, for me, their standouts are their croissants. You can get them pre-made and frozen, so they've done all the hard work for you, layering, getting all the buttery goodness into those things. All you have to do is take them, put them out, let them de-thaw, let them rise up and get puffy, and then you just throw them in the oven, bake them up, and you've got yourself some delicious, flaky, amazing goodness. I'm a sucker for a good croissant, and this is the perfect way to start off the morning with a good breakfast. Also, just a fun fact for anybody else who, is planning on going here, you have to be earlier to these ferries than you do all of the other ones by 10 extra minutes. We did not do this, and we just barely made it and almost missed our ferry. They put us on standby. It was looking real sketchy there for a second. But anyway, didn't matter because we got on the ferry and it was all great. Now, because the ferry does have to go and hit all of the other Gulf Islands first, it is a good couple of hours or so that you're on that ferry. So you might want to pack a lunch or something like that to, a snack or something in order to hold you over while you're waiting on this ferry. We have a patented go-to travel sandwich that we always pack up whenever we go on the trips. I give this sandwich an absolute pass. It's our go-to whenever we go on a picnic, whenever we have a road trip, maybe we're going on a hike and we want to have a meal that we can pack up real easy. You just gotta wrap it up, unwrap it, and you can start nomming away at it whenever you need it to grab a quick bite to get your energy back up. Now, anyways, after we enjoyed that amazing treat, we rode out the rest of that stunning ferry route, and we finally make it to Salt Spring Island. The first thing we wanted to do is go check into our Airbnb, which I just gotta mention was a super cool place. We stayed in this geodesic dome that was literally on an apple orchard. It would have been cool if we had seen it in summer, because then the orchard would have been in full bloom. They did actually have some dried apple slices from the previous season that they had taken, dried out, and preserved, and were selling them out front. We bought a couple bags of those because they were absolutely, oh my gosh, delicious. I love apple slices already, but you can't beat these fresh, locally grown apples like that. I don't get the chance to eat them straight from somebody who did all the processes themselves. It was just such a cool place. I'll actually might include that link down in the description below if you want to check out exactly the locale. Go in the summer, you can see when the apples are growing and everything. Now, before I get any further in this video, I need to mention something, because I know if I don't, you guys are gonna destroy me in the comments below, and it's gonna be something to the tune of, Why is Andrew not talking about the farmer's market? Why is Andrew not talking about the farmer's market? Why is Andrew not talking about the farmer's market? Trust me, I am just as disappointed about you guys. I absolutely intended on including the Salt Spring Farmers Market in this video. If you guys don't know, it's a huge farmers market where all the local farmers get together and they sell all their fresh produce, fresh meats, fresh cheeses, fresh anything. All tons of different artisanal, local artists on the island get together and sell their stuff. It's a big event that happens there, and it absolutely was something that I planned on covering. However, when we went, it was the winter-spring season, and it was outside of the normal hours of the farmer's market, so it was actually closed. So we did not get to experience the farmer's market. I can tell you this, that is something that I want to experience so much that I am absolutely planning on doing a follow-up video exclusively covering the Salt Spring Island Farmers Market. Let me know down below if that's something you guys were interested in, comment on it and feel, but I just had to mention that because I knew you guys would probably destroy me in the comments if I didn't bring this up in this video. It's absolutely something I'm planning on covering, so I guess it doesn't really matter anyways. It's gonna happen. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, that is why it is absent from this video. Alright, now, with that disclaimer out of the way, we went and enjoyed the island, wandered around. There's some great local shops, great stuff, little town center you can walk around. There's some great hikes too, some stunning views. That's pretty much how we spent the rest of our trip. It came around to dinner time and we were looking for something to go for. And as I already mentioned earlier, Salt Spring is known for its delicious apples and its amazing orchard. So something I highly recommend for a dinner that you can actually try out is Salt Spring Wild Cider. Because not only do they have some amazing ciders for you to test out, but they have some pretty delicious foods as well. So boom, we go to Salt Spring Wild Cider. We sit down and we decide to go with the cheese and charcuterie board. That's right, it is a delicious spread of local and international cheeses, gluten-free crackers, Two Rivers ethical salami and meat, roasted garlic confit, house pickles, olives, and local Salt Spring preserves. I gotta tell you, this was an absolutely stunning spread, and it was very delicious. Something I want to note is I do appreciate the inclusion of Two Rivers. I've had some of their stuff before, and I do think it is very important to promote ethical meat consumption. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian myself, but I do understand the concerns and a lot of the things that people bring up with around the treatment of animals and the ethical consumption of meat and its effects on our society. So it is something that is important to me and I love to see included in their tray. But man, they did not skip on flavors here. But now we get to the star of the show, obviously. We're at a cider house, so we had to try a flight. Now, they have a couple different flight options there, but we decided to go with the big boy. That's right, the full flight. Their full flight is a combination of their traditional flights and their modern flights. So their traditional flights represent some of the more traditional cider flavors, and their modern flights are some more experimental, taste testing kind of options that they've got that are a little bit outside of the box, but still they had some pretty good choices there. Now, to break down what they had in their traditional flight, that included a dry, a semi-dry, a farmhouse scrumpy, a pear, and a plum cider. Their modern flight included a bitter orange rosemary, an elderberry, a hopped apricot, a rhubarb, and a ginger. Now, I gotta say, I think I like the flavors more in the traditional ciders. They were much more of the kind of not almost apple juicy sweet sort of ciders, but the drier, kind of leaning akin more to like a white wine kind of a cider, and they were absolutely delicious. Now, this is interesting because it is in the traditional flight, but I think my full standout from all of them was the pear cider. And I don't think I've ever had a pear cider before, so that was kind of why I, was a bit quizzical, like, traditional. I wouldn't necessarily call that traditional, but I guess it is more in the realm. It's pretty similar to an apple, so more of the traditional taste palette, I guess. But man, their pear cider was absolutely phenomenal. From their modern flight, I think my second favorite was actually the ginger one. It had some, nice notes. I get where they were saying it was a bit more experimental. It was almost like a ginger ale kind of a taste, but a little bit more dry and cidery. So those are my two favorite, with the pear being my favorite overall. They were all so good. They're some of the best ciders on the island. They are an absolute must check out. Definitely go there. It was a great choice to wrap up our day one on a nice relaxing note, ready to get powered up for an action-packed day two. So, day two rolls around. We wake up and we're wanting to get ourselves some breakfast. Now, earlier in the day yesterday, when we were walking around the little main center of Salt Spring, we saw this one restaurant that looked very interesting because, as you could see, there was a giant tree growing right out of it, which obviously is, you don't necessarily see that every day. So it piqued our interest and made us want to check it out. And we saw that it had some good breakfast options, so we went in it. And this place was the Treehouse Cafe, and it was absolutely the right selection for breakfast by far. Now, I'm a man who likes more of the traditional, classic, diner style kind of breakfast. All I need is the classic heavy hitters that you would see. Give me a potato, give me a bread, give me a meat. You can throw in some fruit if you want. I don't need any bells or whistles, anything. Just put all that on a plate and you're gonna have a happy camper with me. And guess what? The Treehouse breakfast provided exactly that. It comes with 2 free-range eggs. I chose scrambled personally, but you can have it any way you like. Served with home fries, seed toast, and a choice of bacon, maple sausage, or warm spiced beans. I personally went with the maple sausage, and as always, it was a great decision. I just go with anything maple because Canada, I'm not gonna lie. But something about a nice maple sausage, that sweet flavor with the savory of the sausage meat always just goes so well, and it was so delicious. I absolutely loved it. The seed toast was very multi-grainy, very natural flavors. It had all of the food groups I want to see in my traditional diner breakfast were present, and they were made exactly to perfection. I think for my money, this is the best breakfast that's on the island. Hands down. I couldn't really see a whole lot of other breakfast places, so if you're looking for a breakfast or a brunch, this is definitely somewhere to consider going. It was top tier. Alright, so with a delicious breakfast in our bellies, we were ready to tackle day 2. We went for a hike up Mount Erskine. We walked around there. It was an absolutely beautiful and stunning view. We went down to the harbor, got to stare out over the ocean. It was just so relaxing and so magnificent. But then again, it gets to the time of thinking, what are we gonna do for dinner tonight? And to be completely honest, we loved the charcuterie board so much from the night before. We thought, if they have all of these awesome local made products here, why not, when in Rome, enjoy that as much as possible. So we decided to try and recreate our dinner from the night before, basically all by ourselves, just by getting our own products. And it probably ended up being a little bit cheaper. I didn't do the exact math, but I can tell you all of the flavor was absolutely there. So here's a quick rundown of all the places that we hit in order to, make the Avengers of a delicious charcuterie board homemade. So we went to the Salt Spring Kitchen Company first. They make some incredible jams. We've had them before. They sell them all over the lower mainland. We grabbed their raspberry and habanero spicy pepper spread, as well as their cherry, rhubarb, and rosemary spread. Did a bit of a spicy, bit of a savory. 2 great combos, can't go wrong there. They are all over the lower mainland. I've seen them all throughout Vancouver. They are some of the best jams you'll ever have in your life. They're absolutely. From there, we went right down a short ways to the Francis Bread Company, and we grabbed some amazing local made focaccia, as well as some cured salami from there. Another great choice. We're already starting to come together. It's all forming one big, amazing bond, and we're starting to get so excited. From there, we drive down a short ways to the Salt Spring Island Cheese Company. Now, this place is cool because you could actually see them making the cheeses in the back. It was super nice. Another, again, just another way of just showing a window right in to people who are actually doing this in the community. You could see the goats hanging out outside that they got the cheese from. It just felt so authentic, it felt so right, and we knew we were on the right path. We decided to go with their basil cheese, so that's another one that we got, boom, down and out. Ready to put the cap on it with going and getting another cider. This time we went to Cider Works and we got their chiseled Jersey. More of a dry, classic, regular, I don't want to say regular run-of-the-mill, but more of your traditional apple cider flavor. But I can tell you, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is another great selection. It's hard to go wrong with the ciders on the island. This one was absolutely delicious. So boom, we've assembled all of these flavors, we cut them all up, broke them all down, spread them out, and had ourselves a delicious charcuterie board for the night. Guys, I gotta be honest, this is another time where I fooped up. I got some videos of all of the ingredients together, you know, laid out on a spread. You're probably seeing it here right now, but I didn't actually get them all cut up when we got them, and you know, we didn't exactly present them the fanciest either, so that's probably part of the reason, but I'm also getting used to filming every aspect of my life. I gotta be honest, I know I'm a YouTuber out here, but it's a foreign concept to film literally everything. We put them all out on the tray, and then I blinked and it was gone. I gotta be honest, I blinked, it was gone. It was absolutely delicious, I can promise that. And just, yeah, gotta work on getting the footage all the time. So yeah, that's how we rounded out our night 2. It was a perfect cap on an amazing, relaxing, and eventful weekend in Salt Spring Island. Absolutely amazing trip, would highly recommend it. Honestly, it was great when we went, but I would go in the summer so you can get the full experience out of the farmer's market, out of all the beautiful things in bloom and everything. It's still great any time of the year, but just a much more relaxing and laid back kind of a vibe, whereas I feel like in the summer you can see everything come alive. But again, thank you for joining us for another 48 hours. I've been having a blast getting back to making these videos for the channel. I'm gonna keep on doing them, but I do love feedback from you guys, so please let me know if there's anything you wanna see me do, if you're any ideas that you have, any kind of stuff. I wanna build a community here. I wanna know what you guys want from me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep on enjoying this, keep on chugging it out. Give this video a like if this is the type of stuff you want to see me keep doing and you really like it. But otherwise, catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Come like